Hey guys, so still continuing the process of area. Now we're talking today about area of a square. We're on page 263, 264. Yesterday was super easy, still continuing the process of building up with area of a rectangle. Remember your formulas, area of a rectangle is length times width. For area of a square, it's going to be just a little bit different. The area of a square can be found using a different formula. Area equals side times side. Remember, the reason of that is because a rectangle, the measurements of the sides will always be different. A square, if you guys remember when we first talked about geometry and shapes, will always have four congruent sides. So we don't really need to do length times width to understand. We just need to multiply some of the sides together. They're all going to be the same measurement anyways. So area of side times side can also be written as area equals side squared. And we're talking about squared units and units squared this whole time. And I think it's going to be important that you go ahead and start getting used to this kind of format, especially for tomorrow's lesson, just so you're used to it. Remember that this 2 right here, that is an exponent. An exponent is how many times a number is being multiplied by itself. So if I have 3 squared, that equals 9 because 3 times 3 equals 9. Same thing goes if I have 4 squared. 4 squared would be 16 because 4 times 4 equals 16. Now, exponents can come in a couple different things that aren't always squared. Sometimes it's cubed or so on. So if I have 4 cubed, then that is going to be 4 times 4 times 4. 4 times 4 is 16. 16 times 4, maybe you don't know it off the top of your head. I don't. We'll have to do it like this. 4 times 6 is 24, carry our 2. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 2 is 6. So that means 4 cubed is actually going to be 64. As you progress to higher levels of exponents, you guys are going to see bigger numbers appear. But for today, don't worry, you guys are only going to be doing squared like this. Clearing up the board just a little bit so we have some room to do the other stuff. But to say that all just so that way you get a little more comfortable with seeing those exponents and making sure you're confident in those. When a number is squared, the number is multiplied by itself, as you guys just saw. And then it provides a couple examples of squaring a number. 4 squared equals 4 times 4 is 16. 9 squared is 9 times 9 equals 81. And 14 squared equals 14 times 14, which is 196. So as you guys see, the bigger numbers we get comes from squaring that. That squared is not 4 times 2, it's 4 times 4. It's 4 being multiplied by itself twice. The examples of finding the area of a square we are provided is giving us a square. I'm going to try and make this look a little more square so you recognize the difference between yesterday's rectangles. Still same process though. Area is always going to be whatever's on the inside here. That's all we're worried about right now. And it tells us that the square is 5 units. Remember, with the square, all of these are going to be the exact same, so I can just go ahead and assume that this is also 5 units. This is 5 units, and this is 5 units. All going to be the same because it is a square, 4 congruent sides. So we have 2 ways to list this out. I can either do area equals 5 times 5, or I can do area equals 5 squared. Now obviously these are going to be the exact same thing anyways because 5 squared is 5 times 5. So whichever way you're more comfortable with at this point is perfectly fine. Whenever you do 5 times 5, hopefully you've already recognized and figured this out. It's going to be super easy. 5 times 5 is 25. Is my area 25 though? No, I need the units. Numbers without units are useless. And hopefully you guys are saying that along with me because I'm not here to fuss at you for it. But this does not specify inches or feet or anything like that. So how do I know what to do? Well, this tells us units. So my area is going to be 25 units. But it's area, so remember, it's 25 units squared. Even though it doesn't give us what the unit is, it still says unit, so that's what we're going to follow alongside with it. So, feels a little uncomfortable, I'm sure, but you'll get there. With today, I want you guys to do 1 through 6. 7 and 8 will be available if you guys need it. That'll be up to your sub sort of thing. But yeah, be ready for tomorrow. We're going to progress a little deeper into squared units.